Across Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific, this is the week's Adventist news in focus.
Hello, thanks so much for joining us this week. I'm Sibel Kute. Christian agencies have responded after a toxic mudslide in Brazil left 10 people dead, others missing or injured, and more than 250,000 without drinkable water. The mudslide occurred as 2 dams burst, which had been holding waste from a joint Australian-Brazilian iron ore mine. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency swung into action after the accident, distributing hygiene kits to 600 families displaced by the mudslide. As it became clear that the waste products containing toxins such as arsenic and mercury were polluting the river and water supplies, ADRA supplied clean drinking water to nearly 2,500 families. According to the ABC, the mining company has already been hit with more than $300 million in damages and fines. The total cost of the cleanup could exceed $1.4 billion. As awareness of the damaging effects of refined and added sugar grows, consumers may be tempted to choose sugar-free soft drinks or lollies as a healthy alternative. But are they healthy for our teeth? Melbourne's Oral Health Cooperative Research Centre says the answer is often no. Their research has found that while tooth decay is reduced by staying away from sugary food and drinks, there are still high acid levels in sugar-free products. Citric acid and phosphoric acid are common flavour enhancers that eat away at the teeth enamel and can prevent calcium from rebuilding the tooth structure. Adventist health experts say the study is further evidence for a diet based on whole foods.
God created foods in a specific way, knowing that it would be good for us. Anytime we mess with God's packaging of the food, we're deteriorating the quality of that food. The simple message is that your whole food, plant-based diet is the best diet.
Faith leaders meeting on the sidelines of G20 meetings in Turkey have been reminded that religious freedom undergirds national and economic success. Dr. Ganoun Diop, who heads up the Seventh-day Adventist Church's Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department, told the gathering that the success of poverty reduction strategies, such as the new Sustainable Development Goals, depends on moral foundations. According to Adventist Review, Diop urged faith leaders to work together and bring their best values to bear in addressing the world's problems. A senior Catholic leader has preached at Westminster Abbey calling for unity between Christians and a renewed emphasis on the Protestant doctrine of justification by faith. According to Christian Today, Father Raniero Cantamalessa, who is chaplain to the household of Pope Francis, spoke in the presence of Queen Elizabeth, the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, which he said is well placed to bridge the gap between Catholics and Protestants. Referring to the upcoming 500th anniversary of the Protestant Reformation, Cantamalessa said it's vital not to remain prisoners of the past, arguing about who was right or wrong. Rather, he said, Christians should together be emphasizing the need to be justified by faith in Jesus, not by self-focused and self-reliant religion. And that's it for Adventist News. For the rest of the half-hour Record InFocus program, visit record.net.au. This week, The View from Canberra, Politics in Focus.
With the legislation that went through in Victoria, all communication about abortion is banned within 150 metres of abortion clinics, including doctors' surgeries.
Sue Rad looks behind the label of kids' snack foods.
But in fact, these are just discretionary foods. Most of them have far too much salt, they have too much sugar, they're highly refined, not enough fibre, and the wrong types of fats.
And from guns, drugs and gangs to God, the Matthew Craddock story.
This is nothing. None of this has anything to do with my abilities. This is all because I'm receiving Jesus into my life, and He is doing the work. All I have to do is keep listening to His voice and lean into what He's calling me to do.
Thanks for your company. I'll see you next week on InFocus Adventist News. God bless.